In this episode, we're talking Halloween. It's our spooktacular. Hit the tape. Happy Halloween and welcome to my side of the laundry room. My name's Rob, and it hit me that when I was doing the intro, I was saying a lot of we's. As you can see, there are no we's, it's just me. Something came up, Chris wasn't able to make it. But I couldn't just sit on Halloween. We had to do something. Unfortunately, couldn't get to the content that we had planned. It's always easier when there's two of us to do certain topics. So I just thought I would start off by saying, this year's Halloween has been weird for me a little bit. Not as excited as usual, and I think that has a lot to do with Disney when we went in September. Because all of my Halloween energy was going to imagining what Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween was going to be like. We had our disappointments with that. I talk about that in a previous episode if you want to look for it. But I think all of my heart and soul went into that. With the costumes, with that, with the planning, with that, with just my imagination to how magical it was going to be. So we get to Halloween at home now. And it was a little late on getting decorations up. I mean, I love what we put up, but we can't put as much up as we used to. Not with time, but just with the kids. We got rid of some shelves between kids there too, so until we get some more shelf space and display space. But anyway, moderately decorated, but love it. But yeah, it just felt weird this year. I mean, haven't really watched any of the movies I'd like to watch. Like, I love watching Monster House around Christmas. What the hell? Halloween. I think that's a great one. It never really gives a date in it, but it's very 80s with the arcade game and things that pop up in the story. If you haven't seen it, it's really worth it. It's a great Halloween flick. It's got Trick or Treat and everything in it. Sleepy Hollow is another one that I love. Just the imagery that Tim Burton has put in it. I mean, even a simple jack-o'-lantern has like an iconic feel to it. Love that movie too. But anyway, haven't really gotten to do that yet this year. So Saturday night, we bought Hocus Pocus on DVD a while ago. And it's one that my wife loves. She always raved about it as a kid when it came out in 93 or whatever. But I never saw it. But it's a Disney flick, so in the back of my mind, I'm like, it's got to be good. It's got a following. Hell, Mickey's Not So Scary, the Sanderson sisters or whatever put on a song and dance review or whatever. So anyway, I put it in for the kids this evening because I'm like, this is the last weekend before Halloween. Let's watch a movie. And yeah, movie's a little rough to watch. I remember it coming out in theaters, but it just smells of made for Wonderful World of Disney. I mean, it's slightly entertaining. It had stuff that was really inappropriate for a Disney movie, in my opinion. Talking about virgins and they're smoking and drinking and a fair amount of hills and dams thrown around. So that kind of shocked me. Excuse the beep, that's just the monitor. Everything's okay. Just the cord's messed up, so it beeps sometimes. Then it'll go right back to charging again. Anyway. Yeah. Can't really see the, where the love is for that movie other than nostalgia. Yeah, and, not to spoil anything, but a dude gets turned into a cat in the 1600s. He's still alive now. He's undead, or can never die. Sorry, he's immortal. So he gets run over, and the kids are a little disturbed about that, but he inflates again, and he's all good. But at the end, the dude's soul gets freed, and my kid started crying because the cat was dead. Even though it's like, oh no, his soul's free, he's going with his family in heaven. That didn't matter. Cat was dead. Tears were shed. So, yeah. I was very surprised about that one. But anyway, one thing that's been popping in my head a lot recently, and I guess it's kind of the blessing of having a blog, website, whatever you want to call it, where I think a lot about my past and nostalgia, toys, movies, everything. But recently I've been thinking a lot more about what Halloween meant to me as a kid. I have to say, as much as I love the genre and gory things, my Halloween is very family. I mean, I like, as weird as it is, I like unique and crafty things more than the plastic stuff bought at Spirit of Halloween or the gory stuff. I'd rather hit up a flea market and look for some old vintage stuff, or go to craft fairs and get stuff. So, I mean, I kind of walk a fine line to that kind of stuff. I mean, recently I bought a plastic bat, skeletal bat. I thought that's cool, and I've always wanted a real skeletal bat, like in the glass, because I see them for sale, but never for the price. So I can have a fake one and get the same effect I was looking for. But like I said, back to the family thing, I grew up watching Disney's Halloween every year, and to me that was what Halloween was, more so than Great Pumpkin or anything like that. I mean, Donald's Trick or Treat is by far my favorite cartoon ever, and a lot of the episodes that they included in that special, like Lonesome Ghosts, or even some of the Silly Symphonies things, I mean, those stand out in my mind as what Halloween is. And I think of things like from trick-or-treating during the Wild West days of the 80s, where you could pretty much be out trick-or-treating until people started turning their porch lights off, even if that's 11 o'clock at night. And there was something magical about going out on Halloween. It was an adventure more than anything. I mean, the candy was cool, but for me, I lived for the adventure, the sound of crunching leaves, and off to your side in one of the yards, and could something be after me, or the fun thinning of the veils, imagination of goblins and witches and fairies, and that's where I was coming from. I guess as naive as that is, but that's still where my heart lies when it comes to Halloween. I love the fact of it could be a night where anything could happen, and that could mean a lot of different things. I mean, to me, it's like, ooh, that could be insert supernatural creature here, or it could be that anything could happen because you're willing to take a chance on Halloween. Either way, that's what Halloween is to me. Like I said, just been thinking a lot about it recently. And I guess after the Disney trip, kind of shook my foundations a little bit on what Halloween now means to Disney World. That was some crazy stuff. The stampeding to trick or treat and stuff. Yeah, a little disheartening. But anyway. Ooh, but I do have to add, I did get something recently that does fall into the mass-marketed Halloween machine. I got this cool little slideshow thing to shoot at the side of my house. I'm a person that hates those laser lights at Christmas time, the green and red that pierce the side of somebody's house. But when I saw this, I just had to have it. It comes with 12 different slides. Each has 4 images on them. And for Halloween right now, I have ghosts. And it looks like they're rising from the backyard up my house, and then they disappear over the eve. But I love it. And I'm all excited because there's slides for like birthdays and different Christmas ones. And, I'm already planning that stuff. And you can project it inside. So even if you have a birthday party, you can shoot it in the living room and have cool dancing packages and streamers and stuff. But anyway, like I said, I do tend to go more towards the crafty stuff, but that is something mass marketed that just really spoke to me, because the ghosts flying around on somebody's house, I saw a couple driving around over the month, and it's like, damn, I gotta get me one of those. And I did. So super excited about that and the potential of other holidays. So just something that popped into my mind. But I hope everyone's having a great Halloween. As you saw, I did or if you didn't see, a quick review on Stranger Things 2. That was great Halloween surprise. Not a surprise because we knew it was coming, but how great that was. You can read my quick little review. Very minor spoilers, but I'm sure the whole world has watched it already. But if you just want to hear my point of view and add some comments of your own, please do. I'd love to have dialogue over it. The crappy thing is, watched it Friday, got to the weekend, and haven't really had anyone to talk to about it. So that's why I wanted to do that video. So please have a conversation with me. Leave some comments about it and what you thought about it. Season 2, like I said, I think it's excellent. One of the best TV shows I've ever seen, period. Halloween today feels so much different. It might be just from where I live. I mentioned it before, at least on my blog, that trick-or-treating here, where I live in Pennsylvania, is on the last Tuesday, the last full week. I think they rigged it somehow that would never, ever be on a Halloween. And I don't know why. Do they have some weird mumbo-jumbo fear of it? Because it's the night of the devil? I don't know. But I feel like that does take some of the magic away from it. And no matter which way you cut it, you always got school the next day or work. So, it's always a struggle. The whole week's kind of a struggle when you're trying to keep kids on a schedule. Especially my daughter, who just started kindergarten. So, more of a schedule than she's ever really known, a daily one. So, that was hard. And then we have a Halloween parade, which is a pretty big deal in the town. I mean, I think it's fun. It's always fun to go. But I think this last one was at least 2 hours long. And doesn't even start till 7:30, so you're not getting your kids home till 9:30, 10 o'clock. Throws off the schedule. At least if you are gonna schedule a day for these, make them on a weekend, a Friday night. Of course, I'm sure that powers that be think that's evil too, because they'll give kids an opportunity to run wild and burn shit down or something. But it would just be so much better to have kid out trick-or-treating, have fun, enjoy a couple pieces of candy, and not have to struggle to put them down for the night, and then them have to get up early the next morning for school. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents about that. But, I mean, I hope it still has some of the same magic for my kids that I experienced. maybe they won't realize that magic until they're older, like I did. Of course, you fantasize more about the things you can't do anymore, and you know, that's where trick-or-treating, I mean, there's definitely an expiration date of some degree, but after that I got through that, because the more I think about it, I didn't consistently trick-or-treat every year due to, I guess, my parents wanting to take me somewhere, because we lived not in a trick-or-treat friendly street area, whatever, just because there weren't any homes around, and it's kind of tucked away in the middle, out in the middle of everything, yet in the middle of nowhere. As weird as that sounds. But anyway, so I would travel a lot to my aunt's house, and I can remember years where we didn't make it, and it would be like, oh, instead of doing that, you're going to walk in the Halloween parade. Not the same. Definitely not the same. One year my mom and grandmother took me to a church haunted house. Of course, they were all church kids that went there, and I'm the only one that didn't and got dropped off. I didn't know anybody, so it was a horrible time. In the haunted house, I mean, for my age, I think it still scared the crap out of me, but nowadays I think about it and it wouldn't have been anything. But, yeah, I just hope that they are able to look back at it with a magic. Like I said earlier, a night where anything can happen, you know, adventurous. Maybe that'll happen when they're a little bit older, that my wife and I don't have to hold their hand the entire journey. I don't know. But I know they love Halloween, and that makes me very happy. Sorry to leave on a down note like that. Not down, but a retrospective, soul-searching note. Happy Halloween, everybody. Be safe out there. Get lots of candy. Spend some time with your family. Just remember, anything can happen tonight, and I hope it does. So happy Halloween. Thank you for watching My Side of Laundry Room Live. My name's Rob. See ya.